I am not a writer of history. I am Mantor, one of a new race, a sector from the planet Symbion. I am a secret member of the Keepers of the Way, and I know much about the past and the future. I know about reasons and actions unknown to others. And so, the important task of telling this story is mine. As you listen, you are my witness. To you, I swear the truth. I begin now to tell you a dark and mysterious tale. Listen well, children of Earth. Memory is a strange and wonderful thing. I know little of your race, which you call human, but perhaps your memories are like ours here on Symbion. The sound of the wind singing through a mountain pass, the patches of shadows and light from our two suns streaming across the dusty floor of my study, all of these things, in some mysterious way, do remind me of something. Whether I want to remember it or not, these memories come charging into my mind, reminding me of my mistakes and those of others here on our planet, Symbion. There have been so many mistakes. The king alone and unprotected, trusting even for a moment Empress Devora. Oh, but I'm not starting at the beginning, and I must. Let me tell you how it happened.
Really, Mantor, I come to look in on Dargon's history studies, and I find the two of you playing with the ebony furworm you caught in the gardens yesterday. And Dargon, weren't you going to finish your study of the ancients' writings today?
But, Father, it wasn't Mantor's fault.
That's not altogether true, Your Highness. I thought that by showing Dargon some of the...
You two have become friends. How fast you spring to each other's defense. A fine sector trait. You teach my son well, Mantor.
Besides, Father, it was you who told me there is much to learn not found in books.
And much that is, my prince. Let's get on with your history recitation and show your father we've not neglected the classics.
Begin with something from the text of the ancients. It's important we never forget the mistakes they made.
Start with Scroll 1, my prince.
Scroll 1. To all who read this, know that we have much to confess. The hour is late, and the cataclysm, that terrible time of destruction, is upon us.
Are the biovents sealed?
Yes, Your Excellency. The main door is primed and activated for closing. We await your signal.
We must move quickly. We may have already waited too long. Hurry. Tell the men to hurry. We must all be inside.
It is so, Doctor. Everyone is here.
And all cellular labs inoperable?
Every blasted one. They've done enough damage. See how the sky is red with fire and the sea is going.
Our experiments were intended to help, not harm.
They've helped, certainly. Helped our beautiful planet to the edge of destruction.
It is time, Doctor. Look! The door has begun its descent. Take the voice thought amplifier now and talk to them. Tell the multitude what is happening. We don't want panic.
Friends and workers, hear me, hear me. You will be safe here in this hive. There is much food and water, enough to see us all through a lifetime and beyond. What we do is right. All the hives will be sealed before the two suns set this day. It is the way. It must be. Now it is history. Do you understand? We have done our duty and fulfilled our promise. Whatever the results of this storm, history will be our judge. Now, vacuum seal the doors.
They will not open again in our lifetime.
But later, perhaps, if anyone survives.
Something always survives, Doctor. Life will go on. But life in what form, I ask you? What form?
What form? The ancients asked. It was a new race called Sectors, a race of humanoid and insectoid warriors divided into two major kingdoms, the good of the Shining Realm and the evil of the Dark Domain. It is in the skies of the Shining Realm that we continue our story. The bright light of the two suns glared off the glossy, transparent wings of Dragonfire, a huge flying insectoid. Banking sharply to the left and sweeping in low over the green morning hills of Symbion, Dragonfire carried Prince Dargon on his broad, furry back. Dargon is the son of King Markor and the heroic defender of the Shining Realm. The two sectors were flying at an easy pace. This was strictly a pleasant ride on a beautiful day.
Look, Dragonfly, down on the Great West Lawn. It's Pinsor and Battle Beetle. They're waving us down. We better see what they want.
This command flashed to Dragonflyer without Dargon having to speak any words. This was one of the powers of the Sector race. Thoughts telebonded or transferred from a warrior's mind straight to his insectoid's mind. At times like this, Dargon and Dragonflyer thought and acted as one. The ankle-deep plants flattened before them as they landed smoothly. The great beast folded his mighty wings at his side, and his colossal blue eyes gazed about for any sign of danger.
Pinsor, we saw you from overhead. What was it that was so important to cut short my morning ride?
There's a messenger from the Dark Domain here, and he wants to see you, Prince.
Take me to him, Pinsor. Well. Do my eyes deceive me? Certainly not. No one in all of Symbion is as repulsive to the eye as you are, Skulk.
Beauty is as beauty does, Dargon. Some of us actually manage to survive by other means.
Save your low insult, you eight-eyed fiend. State your business before I lose my patience with you.
Just the other day, as I went about my usual activities...
Spying and backstabbing, you mean?
There are kinder words for what I do than those, Dargon. I prefer to think of myself as an information specialist. Today, I have some information you might find particularly interesting.
Look, Skulk, I'm not in the mood for your brand of show and tell. Besides, whatever you're offering me has probably already been given to your stepmother, the Empress Devora.
She found it interesting. As a matter of fact, she has the original. Now, what I offer you is a first-rate copy. It should be sufficient for a second-rate prince.
Talk to my prince that way again, and I'll twist your antenna off, you slimy little...
Take it easy, Pinsor. This could be important. But tell me, Skulk, why offer this information to me?
Perhaps it's just my love of intrigue. The thought of you coming face to face with Empress Devora's troops is one I find irresistible. Think of the destruction I could cause. After this is over, my stepmother, the Empress, will hold me in higher regard.
I doubt that, Skulk. You've more than earned your reputation.
All I ask is safe passage out of the Shining Realm.
You'll need that. After all your double crosses, I'm sure there's more than a sector or two who'd like to see you tacked up.
Save your breath, Pinsor. Come on, Skulk. Show us what you've brought.
It's a coded map. I bought the original from a trader sector. She was wearing it as jewelry. See how the old metal glows in the light?
What's it say? What's it say?
My knowledge of the language of the ancients is as full of holes as your head, Pinsor. But I believe this map shows the way to one of the great treasures of the ancient world. A hive.
And Devora has the same map?
Indeed, Dargon, the very same. Though I must say, she seemed a bit more grateful to get it than you do.
Grateful? How do I know this map isn't a fake?
What? The very thought offends my delicate sensibilities.
And a smellworm's a butterfly, I suppose.
Very funny, Beetle Brain.
Beetle Brain? Why, you...
Cut it out, both of you. Tell me, Skulk, on the level, is this map for real?
Empress Devora's scientists and scholars apparently think so. They advised her to dispatch General Spydrax along to the site immediately for a very private examination of the area. He's supposed to look at the area first to see if there might be a hive there. Then all the troops will be called in to explore. Oops. I I shouldn't have let that slip. But it's such a delicious story. I just had to spread it around.
Out, Skulk, before I have to have the room scrubbed down.
With pleasure, Dargon. I need broader vistas.
I'll broaden your vistas. Get out of here!
No need to resort to violence. Consider me but a memory.
Cowardly Skulk bowed low before Prince Dargon and backed out of the room.
Well, Pinsor, I think we'd better get to it. Mantor and Zack are on maneuvers with the troops now, and they can help Galkin should anything be needed while we're gone.
To the search!
Pinsor climbed aboard Battle Beetle just as Dargon and Dragonflyer flew skyward. Dargon shouted to his friend.
I'll fly ahead and look out for danger. Meet me at the edge of the Desert of Lost Hope. From there, we'll follow the map and see if it leads us to the hive.
Then both Dargon and Pinsor gave their telebonded messages to their insectoid steeds.
Up, Dragonflyer! To the sky! We have much to do!
Dragonflyer's response came in the form of a loud, high-pitched clicking. Pinsor telebonded to Battle Beetle.
Away, Battle Beetle! Run hard and fast!
When Battle Beetle received Pinsor's telebonded message, he snapped his colossal claws together. With an amazing show of power, he emitted a low, rumbling growl and charged away. The ancients had been wise to fear the outcome of their wild experiments. Not all the creatures who evolved after the great cataclysm were as good-hearted as Dargon and the sectors of the Shining Realm. A safe distance away, across the Desert of Lost Hope and past the City of the Ancients, was a territory that had earned the name of the Dark Domain. All sectors are mutants, part human, part insect. But not all mutants are as single-mindedly evil as Empress Devora, ruler of the Dark Domain, and the head of her troops, General Spydrax. Listen, here comes Spydrax now. Can you hear his heavy boots as they pound the wet, mossy stone of Devora's palace? General Spydrax hurries along with a good clip because he is late for an audience with the Empress. And my friends, I can assure you, Devora does not like to be kept waiting.
Your Highness, General Spydrax has arrived.
Well, show the good general in and be quick about it.
At once, Empress.
I'll teach him to keep me waiting. These high and mighty military men, so full of themselves. I trust Spydrax no further than I can throw a centipede. But we must be civil. Besides, he does look devilishly handsome in that uniform. Oh, there you are, Spydrax.
Greetings, Empress.
Save the niceties for later. Right now, there's business to attend to. You've seen the map, I suppose?
I studied it half the night, Devora.
Then what do you make of it?
In my opinion, Empress, the map is authentic. You were wise to send Skulk to the Shining Realm to interest Dargon in your carefully revised version of the map. The route you charted for him will take extra hours. We'll be in full control of that hive by the time Dargon arrives.
I thought it was rather clever myself. We'll not only have the hive, we'll have Dargon, too.
Correct, my Empress. Now, I take my leave. I must gather my troops and prepare the attack.
You're excused, General.
As he was leaving Devora's chambers, the evil General Spydrax thought to himself,
That arrogant, self-centered old bat. She thinks I do all this just for her. Vanity is her blind spot, and it shall prove to be her undoing. I'll find that hive, but I'll be blasted if I'll share its knowledge with the likes of her. This planet has grown soft. Empresses and kind-hearted princes indeed. What symbiote needs is a ruler with a fist of iron. I am destined to rule this planet, and by all the powers of the Dark Domain, rule I shall. There will be tributes to me before I'm done. The great General Spydrax, conqueror of the Shining Realm and ruler of all Symbion.
There is great trouble on the planet Symbion. Both Dargon and Spidrax have maps which can lead them to a hive. But Empress Devora has seen to it that Dargon's map will force him to take a long and complicated route. This will allow General Spidrax to reach the hive first and lay a trap for Dargon. Even now, as I speak, the evil general is arriving at the foot of the great mountain which contains a lost hive of the ancients.
Troops, hold your positions here while I examine the site. I must search hard for the entrance. The ancients hid them well. And be on your guard. Nor and Vipex, the two monsters which guard the hive, could attack without warning.
After hours of exhausting searching, Spidrax found the entrance to the hive. This day, General Spidrax was extremely lucky. Nor and Vipex attacked Spidrax right away, but Spiderflyer managed to get behind Nor and drop his venom-coated net on him. Nor was instantly knocked out, so Spidrax had only Vipex left to fight. Backing off quickly, Spidrax drew back his venom-tipped whip and lashed out at the quick-moving Vipex. His first shot was a hit, and Vipex was dazed. Spidrax quickly wrapped his whip around the monster and dragged him under Spiderflyer's net. The two guardian monsters would stay unconscious as long as the net covered them, or until they became used to the venom and recovered.
The map was perfect. It led us directly to the hive. How to get inside, that is the problem.
Just stand aside, Spidrax.
Scorpia, I didn't know you were here.
There are many things I do that you don't know, General. For example, I knew that you would need my help.
Very clever, Scorpia.
You expected less of a Sector with my power?
Experience has taught me never to underestimate your cunning, Scorpia.
Now, Spidrax, let's be nice. Or have you already forgotten you need my help?
I have not forgotten, Scorpia. Here is the great door. Try your skill and see if you can find the correct sequence of buttons to push so that we can get inside.
With pleasure, Spidrax.
Scorpia thought to herself.
I have looked forward to such a test of my keeper abilities. Now, let's see. There are so many buttons, but I'm sure there's an order to it. The ancients had an order for everything. My instincts tell me to start from the high numbers and work down in a binary order, omitting the square root of every third number.
Scorpia, you've done it. The door is opening. All of the secrets of this hive will soon be in my possession. I shall be unstoppable. Guards, take your positions out of sight. It's almost time for the little surprise party I've got planned for Dargon and his friends. Oh, this will be a day to remember. What a day!
Scorpia listened and watched in silence. Her thoughts were focused and intense as she thought to herself.
As much as I dislike helping Spidrax, I am always eager to discover what mysteries may be revealed in a hive. I'll just stay in the shadows and see what develops.
Because they were hidden in trenches and camouflaged by bushes, Spidrax's troops were almost invisible when Dargon and Dragonflyer arrived at the hive. Dargon had waited atop a nearby mountain ridge until he had seen Pinsor and Battle Beetle charge up over the dusty hills. Then the two brave Sectors joined forces. Holding the map in his hand, Dargon led the way.
This map is too complicated. I suspect Devora may have changed it in order to confuse me. We'll land over there by the base of that large mountain and search further. Down, Dragonflyer. Land over there.
It was then that Spidrax sprang his trap.
Attack! Attack! Seize the intruders!
Look out, Pinsor! It's a trap!
I'm always ready for a good battle. You're hopelessly outnumbered, Dargon. Surrender, and I will be merciful.
Never, Spidrax. I have seen what happened to others who tasted your mercy. Prepare to fight. My sword and shield of style will protect me.
Fight it is. I don't fear you, Sector.
Swords clanged and shots rang out from the Vengans as Dargan and Spydrex fought sector to sector. Pinsir tried his best to control Battle Beetle, but it was next to impossible. When he sensed trouble, Battle Beetle went berserk and fought with a terrible fury. He and Pinsir managed to subdue all of Spydrax's troops in just a few minutes of hard fighting. Dargan and Spydrax were very evenly matched. They had both dismounted from their telebonded steeds and were fighting on foot now. Spydrax's venom-tipped whip cracked just above Dargan's head.
Phew, that was close. Got to get to high ground.
No use running, Dargon. This victory will be mine.
Don't be so sure, Spydrax. I'm not one of the puny little insects you're used to bullying around.
We shall never know who could have won the fight, for just then, Commander Waspax and hundreds of his sting troopers appeared, battle-ready on the near horizon.
Dargon! Look behind you! It's Waspax and the sting troopers! Blast! I want to finish Dargon off myself. I wonder why Waspax is here.
The general didn't have to wait long for the answer. Commander Waspax was the forward guard of a huge procession. Thousands of workers carried an enormous portable throne. Seated high atop the colossal glittering throne, in all her splendor, sat Empress Devora. Though the Empress rarely left her palace, the entering of a hive was one event that she was not about to miss. She pulled her hood close about her to hide her mysterious face. Amid all the confusion of her arrival, Dargan slipped away from Spydrax and disappeared into the throng.
Well, Spydrax, I am here, as all can plainly see. You didn't really think I would trust you to share the power that awaits me in this hive, did you?
Ah, Devora, you interrupted me just as I cornered Dargon. He and his friend Pinsir showed up just as you thought they would.
I'm glad I had the forethought to order Commander Waspax and his sting troopers to accompany me. You know each other, of course.
Of course.
We are acquainted.
There will be no fighting in my presence, not among my own troops. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
That's better. Now, where were we?
Troops, seize the enemy and take them to a holding compound.
Spydrax, I count 3 prisoners from the Shining Realm. Where is Dargon?
General, in the confusion, Dargon seems to have slipped away.
Then find him, or you and the rest of your regiment will be living on an ant's rations.
My sting troopers can help. Under my command, they're well prepared to flush out rabble like Dargon and Pinsir.
Pinsir, Battle Beetle, and Dragonflyer had the good sense not to resist arrest. They were hopelessly outnumbered, and they knew it. With Dargon gone, only a miracle could save them now.
I see that the door to the hive is open, but where are Nor and Spydrax?
They are harmless now, Your Excellency. They are unconscious under Spiderflyer's venom-coated net.
My, this is a great day! Oh, the luck is with us! But we must hurry. Those 2 monsters are strong and might recover under that net if they become used to the venom. And I can assure you, they would not be pleased to see us. Tell me, Spydrax, how did you manage to open the door?
It was my doing, Devora.
Oh, it's you, is it?
You're not the only one with power, Devora.
Perhaps not, Scorpia, but I am the one in control. Everyone knows how I feel about it.
Of course they do, Devora. You've always made that clear.
You have done me a great service. The way is clear. The power of the hive awaits me. Forward. Carry me inside.
Forward, troops! Forward!
You heard your Empress. Proceed at once.
Dargon watched and listened to his enemies from his hiding place.
Got to keep out of sight. Good thing I overpowered that sting trooper and got his uniform. We'll all be inside soon.
The sound of 1,000 boots echoed within the huge corridors of the hive. Soon, all were assembled in its main chamber, a cathedral whose vaulted ceilings soared up into darkness. Because of her skills as a secret keeper of the way, Scorpia moved swiftly and surely to the glowing control panel.
Ah, After opening the main door, the smaller doors which lead to the lab should be easy.
Again, Scorpia's instincts served her well, but to everyone's surprise, no doors were opened, no secrets revealed. Instead, high overhead, the inky darkness began to spark and crackle. Like a million tiny bolts of lightning, the blue and yellow sparks swirled about wildly. Then, appearing through the shower of electrical sparks, came a frightening and amazing sight.
Those robed figures, hundreds of them. Who are they?
Before anyone could put forth an answer, the ghost-like chorus announced themselves.
Visitors, listen carefully and mark our words well. This pre-recorded message will appear to you but once. Look about you. The dust beneath your feet is all that is left of us now. And yes, we know you all. We were once great, but pride was our downfall. We thought we were perfect as the greater powers, and for that we were punished. If you had come in peace, you might be allowed to leave in peace. But our scanners revealed your red eyes, a mark of evil. We know why you are here, and the blue-eyed seeker of good. There is one such among you. We regret that he too must perish. There is no other way. Our science must never find its way to your world, your time. You are not ready. Perhaps someday your civilization will advance past barbarity. But for now, you must be stopped. You have been fooled. This is not the hive you seek. We left many false clues to keep our secrets safe behind the great door. Now and for all time, you are among us. Your dust will mingle with ours. It is for the best. This we promise. Farewell, 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 farewell.
The door! It's closing! Get me out of here!
In an attempt to trap the intruders, the ancients had ordered the great door to close. This time, gravity was working for it. It descended much faster than it had risen.
You cowards! Stand your ground! I order it!
But his words were not heard above the great din of panic as the troops broke rank and ran toward the closing door. In all the commotion, the venom-coated net slipped from Gnaw and Vipers. They were very groggy when they awoke, and instinctively they moved past the stampeding sectors back into the hive. It all happened so fast. Prince Dargan hardly had time to think. He, too, was running for his life. Then he heard the voice. There had always been something about her voice that seemed to echo in his memory. It was almost as if they had once been close, long ago.
My robe! It's caught! Someone save me! Is there no one among you who cares if I live or die? Do I deserve this end?
No one turned. No one seemed to care. It was every man for himself. Evil, after all, has always been its own greatest punishment. Only one sector stopped and leveled his bright blue eyes at Devora. Almost against his will, Dargan knew he had to save her. With amazing speed, Dargan rushed back under the heavy stone door, which was now just a few feet above the ground. He grabbed Devora up in his strong arms and carried her to safety.
Perhaps you'll be a better person. Perhaps you'll be a better person.